Hello everyone, welcome back to Luke's TV Talk. I'll go over some of the most recent TV episodes I've been watching. And for this episode, I'll be looking at House of the Dragon Episode 5. But before I get into that, I uploaded a video on See How They Run. So if you're interested, go give that a watch. And make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future uploads. Okay, so for this episode, I'll start by getting into the plot. We meet Lady Rhea, Daemon's wife, out hunting when she comes across Daemon. He approaches the horse, which then rears up and crushes her. Daemon then crushes her skull, finishing her off. See, this was a really strange moment because he didn't want to do that. He kind of just went to pet the horse and she assumed he was after her, which made the horse get agitated, and that's why she fell off. And then she kind of taunted him as he was walking away, which brought him back. So I don't know what his original plan was. I think he was just going to leave her there to die, but in the end he ends up killing her outright. So now Daemon's basically in front of the line to become, I think it's the owner of the Eyrie or the Vale. He's become like the head of it. On the way out, Otto tells Alicent to prepare for war. So basically now Otto's leaving, and for some reason Alicent doesn't want him to leave, even though he's been treating her like a pawn the whole time. But I guess in her mind he's the only one that was on her side and trying to get her into a place of power. So by some warped kind of thought process, she doesn't want him to leave because he's like a comfort, because she knows she can trust him. But everyone else, she's not completely sure, especially now with the info about Rhaenyra. Lars Strong, known as the Clubfoot, begins to stir the pot of rumours about Rhaenyra to Alicent. So she starts to bring up the fact that, the Maester brought tea, and I hope she's not ill, being very like coy about what he's actually meaning, because he's obviously meaning that she had like the morning after tea, but he's not outright saying it and being subtle to tell Alicent that. So Lars Strong is a very interesting character because I feel like he's going to be a very as you would say, a shit stirrer. Viserys and Rhaenyra visit Lord Corlys to propose the marriage between Rhaenyra and Lenore. Throughout the episode, the king's condition continues to deteriorate, from collapsing to bleeding noses. See, even at the start of the episode, he's shown as being seasick, and I know it's like a very small detail of him not doing well on the sea, but compared to the rest of the episode, it's like a build-up of him starting off with that, and it gets gradually worse and worse. And if the preview for next episode is anything to go by, Viserys is in a very precarious position, I'll say that much. Rhaenyra and Lenore make a deal to do their duty and then do as they please. Lenore is gay, so marriage was never really his ideal path. So basically Rhaenyra, because she wants to be with Sir Criston, and Lenore wants to be with his lover, who is his guard. So they basically come to terms with, they'll do their duty, they'll have their heirs, make their fathers happy, but then do their own thing behind the scenes so they're happy. So everyone's come to a compromise and they've found a way to work it out for them. Sir Criston tries to convince Rhaenyra to leave and live with him in Essos, but she now understands her duty, but he doesn't want to be her whore in the dark. He is very conflicted because he wants to be the queen's or the king's guard, and he sullied his position because he took a vow of chastity. So that's part of his role kind of stained, and he knows he can't fully commit to anything now, and they're very conflicted about what to do because Rhaenyra wants to do her duty now, but Sir Criston wants to do his duty but also loves Rhaenyra, so there's a confliction between both of them. Alicent confronts Sir Criston and he confesses to sleeping with Rhaenyra. Alicent didn't expect it and lets him leave. So Alicent was trying to get the info out of Sir Criston that Rhaenyra slept with Daemon, but now she's found out this whole extra bit of information, and now she's going to twist it to her advantage, I would assume, and use Sir Criston to get into a better position of power. A banquet is held in honour of Rhaenyra and Lenore, with all the houses attending. So you've got like the Lannisters and the High Towers, they're all there, all planting their seeds of information gathering and their place in the kingdom. During all the arrivals, Daemon appears and is given a seat at the table. In the middle of Viserys' speech, Alicent enters, but this time in a green dress, the colour of her house, and as Clubfoot says, of war. Alicent's house is the High Towers, and their High Tower, when it's lit green, that means war. So it's a very subtle message to everyone that Alicent is going to take control of the situation and not back down as people think she would, because she was a very timid girl. But now she's going full out war and wants to control what she can control. And everyone celebrates and dances. During the celebration, though, many are planning and scheming behind the scenes. Eventually, a brawl breaks out, and Sir Christian ends up beating Lenore's lover to death in the middle of the hall. Sir Christian tries to kill himself in the courtyard, but Alicent stops him. So at this point, Alicent's obviously going to spare him and bring him onto her side, so she's going to have a loyal ally to use in the upcoming battle. The wedding happens, but Viserys ends up collapsing at the end. So they pretty much have the wedding after all the chaos, because I think they just want to get it out of the way and done with at this point. But then Viserys collapses and we have no idea what's going on, because he is, as I said, been gradually getting worse throughout the episode, with vomiting from the sea trip. His nose starts bleeding during the party, and now he's just full out collapsing. Who knows what's going to happen to him? So this was a very subdued episode. It was very getting people into positions. They're all scheming and trying to get their way, and they're all trying to make sure that they get the leverage they want. Daemon is evil and mean-spirited, and we still all have to hate him. That start of the episode was brutal, because we have no idea what's going on in Daemon's head. Is he good? Is he bad? Because Daemon didn't intentionally cause that horse to rear up. It's when Lady Rhea reacted that the horse went crazy. And then when she taunted him, he went back. So was he going to leave her there? Was he just going to not do anything? So I have no idea what's going on in Daemon's head. He's a very chaotic character. Lars Strong, as many would say, an elite tier shit stirrer, and he's basically planting seeds between all different factions and people in the kingdom to try and position himself and other people to gain and lose out on things that he thinks that people deserve and don't deserve. So it's going to be interesting to see how he plays into the overall arc of characters' stories, because he's definitely going to be listening into a lot of conversations in the future. Viserys is looking real bad. Like, he is falling apart at this point. He is, in the last couple of episodes, we've seen like scars and stuff all over his body, but now the inside, like, he's bleeding out, he's collapsing. Like, something is not right with him, and he is not long for this earth, I'm presuming. Rhaenyra and Lenore are an interesting pair. Like, they obviously have to do what they have to do for their family's sakes, but they've come to an agreement, so they've come to an understanding that they'll do their role, but they can also enjoy their lives. So they're an interesting pair. So they know what they really want in the end. So Christian is between a rock and an execution. Like, he did what he did, but he's also bound by the honour. So he is conflicted completely, because he loves Rhaenyra, but he doesn't want to destroy his oath that he already broken. But he is like completely confused about what to do, and his feelings as well. So I'm not sure what he's going to do. He might join Alicent in the end, so we'll just have to wait and see. Alicent is starting to lay claim in her father's absence, so Otto would have been the one that would have usually taken control of these situations, but now Alicent is starting to lay her foot down and be like, no, I'm taking control of the situation, like with the green dress, showing that she's ready for war and she's going to take control and lead this kingdom. The banquet was unnerving and now bitingly tense. Like, you don't know what's going on, the music's like upbeat and slowly getting quicker, and then the fights start breaking out, people are being punched and kicked, and it was a crazy scene. Like, Sir Christian just went absolutely mad, I think, after that conversation he had. But it was a crazy scene. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. The one last really cool thing was that Driftmark, the kingdom of Lord Corlys, I think was a really cool setting, because it's very different from a lot of the other places. It's like a little island kingdom, and all of Lord Corlys's stuff and his antiques that he's collected over the years were really cool, and I like to see. It was nice to see a different kind of look to a kingdom. The one small little negative, though, is that it's the last episode we'll be seeing the young Rhaenyra and Alicent. I think they both did an excellent job portraying their characters and their complicated relationship, from being basically sisters at the start of the episode to Alicent literally becoming her stepmother. And it's going to be interesting to see how their older versions, their new actors, are going to portray their relationship going forward. So, but yeah, that's all my thoughts on the episode. I had a great time watching it. I'm looking forward to seeing how the new time skip, because I think they said in the preview it's going to be 10 years plus. So it's going to be interesting to see how the relationship between all the characters have changed. So it's going to be a fun journey for the second half of the series. But yeah, that's all my thoughts on this episode. I had a great time. But if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all future uploads. Until next time, I will see you all later.